Hi, good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Hi, Chukwudalu. Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Seems we are very few on the call right now.
Yes, we are very few, so let's give others a few minutes to join in before we go
All right,
ahead.
that's fine.
Thank you.
Hi, Edward. Good morning. Okay, so given the amount of people that are currently on the call right now, it's not much, but I believe other people are going to be joining anytime from now. So I say we should just kick off and start. You know, um, please give me a few minutes. Okay. Please, can you notify if you can see my screen? You can just let me know from the chat.
Yes, Chukwudalu. We can see you.
Okay,
I can see you.
awesome, awesome. Okay, so let's begin. I would like us to, I don't know, take some time to introduce ourselves because it's essential we know each other at least. We're going to start from there and we just carry on from there. My name is Chukwudalu Ayika. Um, I'm from front end development track, cohort 6. If you can let me know your names one by one from the audio, please, because this is going to be interactive.
Hello, good morning, Chukwudalu.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Hi.
everyone. I am Edward. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, please.
Hi, Edward.
I've already sent the mail regarding this. That I may not be able to join because of what the task I'm having at hand. So,
Okay.
yeah, so I said, okay, let me, because I've already scheduled for today. Let me see and take excuse if you guys will permit me. Right now,
Well,
let me see hotspots that I need to. I don't know if it's possible to reschedule mine for Saturday.
I don't think it's possible to reschedule, but this entire call, this entire webinar is recorded. So I'll let the team upload it on YouTube so you can have access to it whenever you feel like.
Okay. What will it
So
require? Will it require us to do anything? Maybe written or writing something like
you
that.
mean the task? Do you mean the
Yes.
task?
Yes.
Basically, it's just Well, we'll get into it. Do you have some time? Do you have some time on this call right now, or you want to take excuse and leave and then watch it later on?
Okay, I would like to take excuse and leave and watch it later on.
Okay, so at a later time when you're ready, everything we're going to discuss is going to be on the video, so you have nothing to worry about.
Okay.
Yes.
So how about the tax?
We need to see how we can.
Yes, it's the task we're talking about actually.
Okay, when I watch it there, then I can do it, then I submit from there, right?
No, it has a time frame. Have you gotten your mail yet?
I think, for this one or for the tax?
For the task. This is about the task. This particular webinar is about the task.
No, I've not gotten my mail on the tax. Okay, no problem. I'll watch it and submit the tax. That will be a problem.
Okay.
All right, sorry for the inconvenience.
No problem.
Right, thank you.
What else do we do?
So, who's the next person?
Okay. Hello.
Hi. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. My name is Chido Collins.
Sorry, what's your name?
Chido Collins.
Okay, Chido Collins.
Yes.
Hi, Chido.
All right. Nice to meet you, Chido.
Okay.
Any other
I
person?
still need to further introduce myself.
Well, not exactly. I just need to get, your names and then the people online currently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just get to know each other a little bit. Hi, is any other person on the call besides Collins and Edward?
Yeah, good morning.
All right, let's not waste too much time. Let's go directly into it.
There was somebody that wanted to speak, Chukwudalu, Adora.
Oh, okay, sorry about that. Please speak.
Good morning. I'm Adora. Cynthia Adora.
Hello, Adora. Can you come again?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah.
I'm Adora. Cynthia Adora.
Okay. Hi, Adora.
Nice to meet you, Adora.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Is there any other person on the call? All right.
I think that's all for now.
All right. Let's kick off with the 3 people currently online. So the entire basics of this webinar is to guide you through completing the task that you will be given, or some of you have been given, to be able to get into Stutern and start your tech journey. So basically in this part, you can read a little bit about me. There's really nothing so elaborate about this, but I started my tech journey in Stutern in 2019, August to be precise, and I've learned so much. Stutern has helped me to expand my horizon about technologies and web, and everything that has to do with the web. So basically, I didn't know how to code before I came here, and well, a little bit, one or two things I knew, but I didn't really know how to code efficiently until I got into Stutern, and then the program was really fast and really intense, within a period of 6 months. So I had to buckle up my game and focus and get things right in order not to waste my time, coming to Stutern and then, wasting other people's time like tutors also. So basically, anybody can learn how to code. It doesn't matter where you're from. I studied business in school, and then I came out and I'm a developer now. So it doesn't really matter. You just need to put your mind into it and understand the concepts. And then when you understand it, you just keep practicing. there's really no shortcut around it. Now, I think we all know about Stutern, a little bit about Stutern, so we'll just move ahead. Now, the goals of this call, we are going to help you locate your task in your email, and then walk you through how to attempt the task and, successfully, go through it and submit. There's really no point of doing something without having success in mind. So that's very important. Now, after submitting your application, you need to check your email and then follow the instructions sent to you for stage 2. Now, if you don't get this email, you can check your spam folder or send a message to student admissions team, and then they will get back to you. Now, if you get the email, you follow the instructions in the email and use the learning materials that are attached to your email. They are really, really helpful, for beginners. And then you attempt the task using any tool or software of your choice. This part is for people that, have experience with web development from before. So you can choose any software or any tool of your choice. And, this is the part where we are going to focus on attempting the task. And then after that, I'll show you how to effectively submit and make sure your submission doesn't go missing. And then, that's it. Just wait for students to get back to you. Learning is a skill, and it's a key skill that we are looking for. So that's the point of this entire task. It's not to build a wonderful site. It's not to build exactly Google. It's not to build something that's going to be mind-blowing. It's basically to check your ability to learn something on your own, or quickly how fast you're learning it and how effectively you learn that particular thing. Now, this entire webinar is going to be hands-on. I'll prefer it to be something we can, exchange ideas or exchange, let it be interactive to an extent. I know you don't know me, but it doesn't really matter, So if you have any questions, feel free to stop me in my tracks and ask questions. Now, let's go to how to complete your task. What is this task? The task is actually the Google search page. So we are going to try and clone it. And why is it included in this application? Well, the program, like I said before, is quite fast-paced, and a lot of self-learning skills are required to see it through to the end. The task is a way to confirm that a prospective learner has the ability or is able to acquire it. So what happens after the task? Your submission is going to be acknowledged, and the email you use to register. Your submission will be acknowledged via the email you used to register, and further instructions will follow. It's actually straightforward. So let's get to the task. The tools we're going to make use of in this task, you need to have your computer, you need to have a browser, Google Chrome, Mozilla, CryptoTab, doesn't matter. You need a stable internet connection and an IDE of your choice. An IDE is actually an integrated development environment. It's used by developers to write codes which the computer understands. So it's a very useful tool. In fact, a developer cannot do without it. So this is what we are going to use, and in this particular one, I am going to use Visual Studio Code because that's my preferred one. You can use anything you want. You can even use your notepad. So let's get down to it. I would like us to, I don't know, does anyone have Visual Studio Code or an IDE here? Can you signify, please? Hello, is anyone on the call?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. Does anyone have a do you have an ID? Do you have a text editor or something?
No, I don't. I'm trying to see if I
No, you
have.
don't have. Okay, everyone has these slides, right?
Yes.
Okay, so in the slides, I would like us to head over to slide 8, and then you click this button over here. This button is going to, right, this link here is going to take you to Visual Studio Code website where you can easily download. It's completely free. You download and then install it and before we progress. So please notify me if you have done that. I hope we're trying to download the Visual Studio Code.
Yes.
Is everyone trying to download Visual Studio Code?
Yes.
Awesome. Kindly notify if you, like when you're done downloading Visual Studio Code so we know how many people are left.
Yeah, I've downloaded it.
Okay, have you installed it?
Yes, I have.
Awesome. So does anyone have issues with installing or downloading it? Does everyone have Visual Studio Code now? All right, let's proceed. So we're going to head over to Visual Studio Code now and see how we can set up a development environment for this task. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Yes, Chukwudalu.
Awesome. So, in the slides, the instruction was to go to File here and open folder. Then we are going to locate where we saved, where we opened the folder for our project folder. So instead of clicking it to get in, we're just going to select the folder so that VS Code focuses inside that folder. And then we create a file called index.js, index.html, sorry about that. So any file that has an extension of HTML changes the file to an HTML file, which is readable by browsers. So to start, we need HTML5 boilerplate. We all know what HTML5 is. It's in the slides, so we can make reference to that anytime. So to get the HTML, boilerplate, we can just type HTML. You know, VS Code comes with some autocomplete features that help us to code easy and faster. So select HTML5 and then it brings up everything. But please, we need to take note of what is inside this this boilerplate, because sometimes some text editors don't have it. To know it by hand, it's a very good advantage. So first thing we're going to do is to change the title. Change it to Google, and what this does is, can everyone see this? You see, when I hover up here, the name up here changes to Google, right? It shows Google. So that's what that title is for. If you change the title to something else, say change it to untitled. Let's open this project folder. Let's open it. So as we can see here, it shows untitled. So your title.
Sorry, I have a question.
Yeah.
When you created the Google search page, did you create it as a folder, separate folder, as a new folder?
Yes, it's your project folder. Every project has a folder, a base folder. So you create it yourself, and then you
And you can
start
keep it
putting
anywhere. It's not like you can put it like in your documents or your downloads on your desktop.
Yes, you can put
Like
it
any
anywhere.
directory.
Yes, any directory. You can put it any directory. So, so basically, the title is to show the title of your web page here. So if I refresh, that's changed to Google, as you can see. Then what this is for, this meta tag is for, this is for responsive width. This will come in handy when you're trying to create layouts for mobile view and desktop view. I mean, across all devices. So it's going to be totally responsive. Without this, whatever responsive code you're writing won't really matter, because it's going to be mumbled. So once you put this, it tells the website and the browser, like it lets it know that, okay, this is a responsive, this website supports responsive widths and all that. And this is for your language, as we can see. Then doc type HTML, it's this tag is like is to let the document, like is to name the document for the browser to recognize that it's a HTML file or it's a HTML document. So let's get down to it. We really don't have much time. I would like us to reserve at least 10 minutes for questions. So basically, let's go to the Google page and see how it looks. So this is pretty easy actually, but there are some things that could get complicated here. So basically, every website has a nav bar, and there's something I would like to introduce. So first of all, you need to look at your website or your project, whatever you want to do. If it's a design or it's a mock-up, you need to look at it and imagine how the person made it or how the design is made before you can start coding, because you don't just start doing things without planning. So you need to look at your project and, decipher how you're going to go about it. So like I said, every website has a nav bar, and these things here, these links here, they're all on the nav bar, and the nav bar spans across the entire screen width. So that's the first thing we're going to do, and secure this. So after securing this, we can now go to the main body and then your footer. So basically this is the footer here. So it's not so complicated as it looks. It's really simple actually. So let me walk you through it. So basically we have a blank document here. I'll introduce you to some HTML tags which are very important for website development. First of all, we have a div. Does anyone know what a div is? Hello, yes or no? Does anyone know what a div is?
No.
Okay, so div is like a container, right? Like it's just a container which you can put other elements inside, like a wrapper, something like that. So this way, I wrote div. This is how you write div. Opening, you have your opening tag, div in your opening tag, and then you have it in your closing tag. So there are elements. This is an element. Div is an element. There are elements that have closing tags. In fact, most HTML elements have closing tags. Only a few don't have closing tags. They call those ones self-closing tags. For example, inputs. Inputs. An input element represents a typed data field, usually with a form control to allow the user to edit data. So basically, input doesn't need a closing tag. This is how you write an input. As you can see, it's like combination of opening tag and a closing tag with this from the closing tag, only that is written differently. So this is what they call a self-closing tag. There are other ones like BR. This is a line break. So it's a self-closing tag. So let's leave self-closing tags for now and focus on layout and some other elements in there. So there's div. Div is like a wrapper. Also, there's a section. Section also is like a wrapper, only it describes for proper semantics of HTML for an HTML website. The section is also like a wrapper, but it's used to describe a section just the way it's written. It's basically used for screen readers and accessibility. So I would like to use a div, first of all, to wrap the entire body. Though we can say body is, the entire document, but I always like to put a different one so I don't tamper with the CSS or the styling of the body, because it can easily disrupt your entire website. So I like to have a div, separate div, and probably give it a class of main wrapper. So this is what wraps the entire website. And then, like I said, the first thing we are going to look at is the nav bar. Now, we have an HTML element called nav. As we can see, nav element represents a section of the page that links to other pages or to parts within a page. It's a section with navigation links. That's exactly what we're looking for. So we just create a nav, and inside that nav, we want to have these links. Let me show you how to create these links. So there are different ways to do it depending on your style of layout. There are different ways of creating different layouts. So we can also use div to create all those links here. This first, second, third, and fourth links. We can use div to just encapsulate them, but I don't like to use divs for nav. I like to use lists, unordered lists. So UL means unordered lists. And unordered lists, this is what it does. Let's say I want to put a different different things inside, let's say list item 1. And I'm just going to copy this a bunch of times. Now let's see the effects of this list. As you can see, unordered lists shows bullet points. So automatically HTML unordered lists is to bring out bullet points for your list items. There are two types of lists. There's unordered lists and then there's ordered lists. So this type would orderly list them out and give them numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. So those are the two types of lists that we have. But we're going to use unordered lists for this particular task. And what we'll do is the first list item is going to be this Gmail, but it's a link. It's not a text. As you can see, if you click it, it goes somewhere else. So it's a link. Now, let's see how we can make that come to life. So the first link is going to be, instead of just writing a text there, we're going to create an anchor tag. That is A, just A. That this is an anchor tag. That's it. But what makes this an anchor tag now it's just an element. It's not an anchor tag yet. But what makes this A an anchor tag is putting this href. So this href is hypertext reference. What it does is it links whenever somebody clicks this particular link, it helps you to link to a particular place. Like say I want to link to Gmail, right? Anytime somebody clicks this link, say this is where you put your label or your handle, and this is what shows actually, not this. All this don't show, it's just this Gmail. That's the only thing that shows. So anytime I click Gmail, okay, you're supposed to put HTTP here. So let's try that again. Boom, opens your Gmail. So basically, we're going to have links all through for this, this, and this. But don't worry about functionality. We just need to learn some of these baby steps first of all, and then every other thing will fall into place. Let me just fill these things up quickly. This is for images. I don't know where images are going to. Let's just put a hash. So when you put a hash in a link or in an href, what it does is it keeps you from linking to a different place. It keeps you from going to a different website. So let's say I click images now and it has the hash. It doesn't go anywhere. It just keeps it there instead of throwing an error. So it just keeps it there. So that's pretty useful. And basically, let's just leave all this. You can fill it out on your own. I'd like us to cover length before time is up. Okay, so as you can see, it's on my own, it's going from top to bottom, and then this one goes on horizontally. So let's figure out how to do this. What we are going to use to do this is actually CSS and not HTML, because as we see here, HTML is the standard markup language for creating web pages. It describes the structure of the web page and tells the browser how to display content. But this second one, not exactly, but without the HTML, CSS has no power. So HTML tells the browser how to display content, and then CSS shows, like, it's how do I put it? HTML helps to tells the browser how to display content, and then CSS, brings this content to life, brings HTML to life, and brings the content to life. So basically, we're going to use CSS to make these stay on a straight line over here, and I'll show you how to do that right away. So what we do is we create a different file, because we can write CSS here. We can actually, but I don't like it. There's inline styling, and then there's this particular type of styling. So what we're going to do is to link a CSS file to this HTML, or else there won't be any relationship between these two files. That means the HTML won't be able to find the CSS, thereby not being able to read the code that you write in CSS file. So basically, we have to connect CSS file to this. And how we do that is we use the link tag, and we link it to this. Sorry. Okay. So see if our CSS is linked. This is how we write CSS, right? We put the elements that we want to style. That's like the body. This is what I want to style, and that's this. I want to style this. So you write the body, and then use curly braces at the end. Then inside the curly braces, that's where you write your block of code. And inside here, I just want to change the background color. I want to change the background color to blue. So let's see if that worked. Fine, CSS is working. CSS is connected right now. So let's leave out this for now. And what we want to style is this nav. We want this entire list to stand horizontally, to be horizontally and also on the right hand side. So this is how we do that. Now, I want to introduce you to a different method of styling. The first time I styled, I just wrote body, right? I just wrote it this way, body. Now, this is when you're styling a particular element, right? You're styling that element. And sometimes the element can appear more than once on an HTML file, but body appears only once. That's why I used it. Now, another reason why you can use styling of elements is, say you want to style all the headings, right? Or all the text on your page, all the paragraph text on your page. You can just put it as P, because P is that's the name to specify a paragraph, right? If you want to type something, if you want to type a text that's not a heading, you use a P element and then type your text. So basically, if I want all my text that are not headings to have, say, a color of, that's the text color, it's color of green, right? basically I just need to put P, and every element or any text I write inside a P element will have the color of green. So that's one way to style. And then another way to style, which I'm going to use for bar, is styling with class. And that was why I just wrote class here without explaining it, because I'm going to come back to it. So basically, this class is to create uh, a class name to be used for styling. If we're going to style the element itself, you know, there's going to be several different divs in an HTML website. So we can't just style the element on its own, because that is going to cause a cascading error. I mean, a lot of things are going to go wrong. So basically, we single out these particular elements using class, and then you give it a unique name. That name is going to be at your discretion. You can choose whatever name you want to, and then you pick that name and style it. But how we're going to style it is this: we use dot and put the class name, right? So basically, we use dot for classes. You can also use ID. Say, let's say I want this UL to have an ID of navigation list. Now, if I want to style this navigation list, ID is it defines a unique identifier which must be unique in the whole document. That means no other ID or no other element can have the ID of navigation list. Like, it's wrong. You can't name an ID. You can't use it like class. Class, now I can use this class on here. I can use it wherever. I can use it multiple times. But ID should be used only once. And now if you want to style an ID, this is how you style an ID. Use the hash and then put the ID name. This is how you style an ID. So let's leave this for now. Let's leave this for now, and let's see how we can center this particular navigation. So okay, that's not what I want. We want to style nav. So we're going to go with nav. Remember, it's an element. We want to style only this because we have only one nav. Now, what we'll do is, first of all, we remove these bullet points. Okay, let's see whether we can revert that. Awesome. Okay, so first of all, remove the bullet points to make it like just basic text. So how we do that? Link style and set it to none. Now CSS they are styled in properties and values. So this is a property and this is a value. Let's see what we do here. Okay. Sorry about that. I was styling nav. Meanwhile, it is the unordered list that has the bullet points. So now the bullet points are out. Then it's just basically to arrange everything on a straight line. And then what we do, how we do that is, I'm going to go display flex. You can do this several different ways, but I like to go with flex because it's really straightforward and easy. So when you use it as display flex, automatically it aligns on a straight line because flex deals with rows and columns. So the default settings for flex, there are actually two directions. Let's say these are the directions. Flex direction, you either have column or row, and then you can have column in reverse or row in reverse. So the default is actually row. That's why you see it when you apply display flex, automatically it just goes horizontally. And to space it out, I actually want it to go on the right hand side. And if you check my slides, you will notice I introduced something called developer tools. This is very, very, very important for developers, especially web developers. So basically, this is it's very helpful. It gives you guidelines on what you're working on. Now, as you can see, when I hover on any of these list items, it shows me what I have right on the browser left hand side. Can everybody see it?
Yes.
Awesome. So it shows me everything, and you see the very awesome thing about this particular developer tools is that you can actually write your CSS here and write your code here and test it out, right, before you actually code it into your document. So let me show you an example of what I mean. This nav, this is what I want to style, and I want to push all these items to the right hand side. So I want to test out my code, right? I just click here, and then let's say I just use display flex, same thing we did before, and I want to move them to the right. So I'm going to justify content. Sorry about that. Justify content to the right of flex end anyone, and we can see it automatically bounces to the right. And what we need to do now is to separate this Gmail and images. So what we are going to do is we go down to here just to test out. Mind you, if you reload this page, if you refresh this page, everything you tested out is gone. Remember, the browser is making reference to your code here. So by default, this is what the browser is showing. So everything you write in your developer tools, it's all, how do I put it? Just for testing purposes. Once you refresh, it goes back to what you have on your code. So make sure when you test out something here and it works, you immediately just transfer it and put it in your code. So you don't have to keep doing the same thing over and over again. So basically, let's just do the same thing I did before. And I want to give this list items margin and padding. As we can see, see what margin is. Let's say this is an entire div. Say this is a div, right? This is an entire div. The margin is the space outside, like from the border of the box or an image, is the space that you create outside that border. Does that make sense? Like, margin is outside the border. This is the entire image, right? This is the entire image. Now, margin is what you create outside the border of the image. Padding is what is like a space inside the border of the image. The image being this div or a UL, or it doesn't really matter. Something that is containing elements. If you use margin, you're going to give it space from the outside. If you use padding, you're going to give it space on the inside. It might compress the elements inside or create space. So that's basically the use for padding. And that's basically what we're going to use for this. We want to give each of these LIs a margin that's margin left and right, to be able to separate it. Give it a margin of, say, 15 pixels. 0 in 15 pixels. So what I did here is As we can see, we have four sides of a square or a rectangle. Now, the top and bottom are when you give two values, it means the first one is going to be for the top, so it goes clockwise. So the first value is going to be, in fact, let me simplify this for you. So this is the same thing as saying margin left. Do you understand? As you can see, we can see 15 here. It's the same thing as saying margin left, and these other sides of the square they are all undefined. Let's just put it that way, because they don't have any measurements, no value, nothing whatsoever. But if you want to give them value, we can also say you want to give up and down margin and then leave the left and right hand side. We can use Jesus. We can use 15 pixels, 0. You can see we have up and down, there's margin, but left and right is 0. But that's not what we're going for. We're going for left and right, and then up and down will be 0. So if we hover on it, we can see the margin on the left and right hand side. They are both pushing the two images apart, or the two elements apart. So this is also very useful for, creating layouts and all. Then since this one is done, I'm just going to transfer this to my code, so I don't have to, keep writing the entire thing again. Now, does anyone have a problem or have a question with how I'm coding? Because I haven't used class name here yet. I haven't used any class. I'm still styling elements. Does anyone have a question? Hello, does anyone have a question?
No.
Okay. Let's continue. So does anyone have a question on what I just did? Hello, is anyone there?
Yeah.
Do you have a question? Do you have a question on what I just did?
Does anybody have a question? Please feel free to ask.
No questions from here.
No questions. Awesome. Okay. So basically, now this is another thing for developer tools I want to show you, even on Google page. Sometimes you might not have all the assets you need to create whatever you want to do, or you might not be able to imagine how the person that created the website did it. You can use this as a reference point. You check how the person arranged the elements, how things are sitting, and then try to recreate it. It will help you learn way quicker than reading books and all that. You know, practice actually teaches way faster. And so basically, this asset, I don't know, you can't get this. You can't get this asset. Probably you can get it. I think you can get it. Let's see. Nope, you can't. Okay. So you can probably just get Google image from Google itself. You know, just search for it, Google image, and then use it, and all these things also. So basically, this is actually hover effect. You can make a hover effect with CSS. You can also check how they did it. I'll show you how to check for that. Now, this is, I think this is the element for, yeah, for the search bar. So you click on hover and select the state. When you select the hover state, it brings out the styling for that particular state, right? So you see this is the class name, as you can see here. This is the class name. So what they did was to apply a hover state or styling for whenever a user hovers on this to bring out this box shadow. So basically, that was what you saw here. Then majorly every other thing here is positioning. So there are two ways to use an image. You know what? Let me just quickly put this image. I'll put this image right now and then show you how to position an image. So let's say Google image. So this Google image, I want to import the image of this Google. I created it myself. I know it's a crime, but I created it myself here. So I'm going to import the Google image and position it in the middle here, using the same style I used here, but slightly different. So I'm just going to do that right now. Please, I hope you're getting your questions ready, because we have very short time for questions. So we use background image and set the URL so we can be able to locate where the image is. But this is not enough. As you can see, I located the image using the URL. So this is not enough to show this Google image. So as you can see, you won't see it here, even though you see the elements showing here. And then there's no error actually. There's really no error, but it's not showing because the image, the way I set it, is a background image. So this div is going to show on the div. You know, it's like a wallpaper. So if the div doesn't have an exact width or an exact height, the image is not going to show. Let's try it out. Height of 400 pixels. Now we can see that the image has come out, and you know, it's kind of repeating itself because the height is too much. So let's make it 200. I think this is fine. And also there are different other properties you can set on a div for background image. So let's go with the width of 600 pixels and the height of 200. Also want to give other background properties, like background position, we want to center it. Background repeats, we want to turn that off because that's by default it's going to repeat. So we select no repeats, and automatically, even if the size of the box or your div is way big, it's still not going to repeat, and it's going to center in the middle. And then we have one more, background size. You can either make the design or your graphic or whatever the image you want to use to contain the particular box, or you want it to cover. Now, if it contains, depends on the spacing of that particular image. You understand? So if the spacing is not so much, then it's going to kind of look like cover. Meanwhile, it's contained. But I like it to cover, and voila, that's it. So to position it, I'll show you two ways of positioning this. As you can see, we're actually styling this element. It looks like an image, but it's not an image. We're styling an element using class. So let's see how we can make that to center. So basically, you can use margin 0 auto. This is a very quick fix. Sometimes it doesn't work, depending on how you sized your elements and your divs. But by default, it's going to work. This is a very quick fix. Or we can also do it this way, display flex, and then instead of justifying content to flex end, you just justify it to center. So those are two ways we can use to do that. And the next thing, let's see. Okay. Well, this is a bit bigger than the real Google share, but you can always make your adjustments on your own. And for this search box, let's see how we can do that quickly. Let's do for the search. I like to wrap my search box into a div. Sorry about that. Then inside here, remember I introduced the input tag. So basically we're going to use that, and let's see what comes out. Now we have this basic input tag. There's really nothing in it. So to achieve this, there are actually three how do I put it? There are three elements. This is one, this is the input. We have this two, and we have these three. Then we have one that covers everything, that wraps everything. So this one is is a bit tough, but for the positioning and all that, but it's really easy too. So in this search box, let's say we have these other materials, like we have all these other designs. I think I have this one. So we'll put them. Remember, however you write your HTML is the same way your website is going to come out. So if you mistakenly put this, if you mistakenly write this in your HTML before this, then when you're styling, this will obviously come before this, because everything starts from left-hand side to the right-hand side and it goes from top to bottom. So obviously when you write your HTML and you write this before this will obviously come before this. And then when you want to style, it brings up more problems for yourself. So you just try and keep that in mind. So let's say we have this div for the search bar, for the search icon, sorry. This is where what we use for our search icon, but we don't have the asset yet. Then if it's called, okay, yeah, voice icon. And this is for the voice icon also. Then this input, what we'll have to do is the search box is going to be centered in the middle, as you can see here. It's also centered and is a bit wider than this. So we try to nail that. Search box is going to have a width of, let's say, 700 pixels and the height of say 30 pixels. I hope that's okay. It's a bit small. 40 pixels seems sufficient. Let's make it 50. Okay, then next thing we want to do is we want to center it also. Imagine it's very awful. Simple. So it's centered. The only thing that's left now is the input. So we'll style that also. Then give it rounded corners to make it look like this Google search bar. And so yeah, basically, let's just copy all this and put it in search box. And it has reflected. Then for this input, can select it using search box, then input. What this means is search inside the search box element for an input element. As you can see, if you hover on it, that's what it shows. You find an input element inside an element with a class named search box. Same thing we have here. So we have input inside the search box. That's why I did it that way. And if you want to learn more about this, you can make reference to W3 schools and read up on specificity, CSS specificity. So what to do here is we're going to increase the width of this. Though this input is not complete yet, it can't take data and all that, but just for display sake, let's go ahead. So we give the width, sorry about that, 100%. Now what this 100% means is that since we gave search box a particular width, we want the input to be 100% of that width we gave the parent element. So basically, this input is a child of search box. So if we want to set the width of input to be 100%, it has to have a parent element, and that parent element has to have a definitive width and height. For you to be able to use the percentage sign. Now we are going to give it a padding of say 20 pixels. Let's see, that's too much. That's too much. See, it's past it has already passed the height of search box, so we're going to drop it down, I think, to 15 or so. This seems good. Then let's take out the border. Probably, well, let's do the border. We'll give it rounded corners. Right. To do that, we use border radius and then call percentage or use pixels. Let's say 10 pixels, or I think Google's own is 50% or so. Theirs is completely rounded. Oh my Jesus. 60 pixels. So yeah, I think this kind of looks like Google's. So yeah, is there any problem so far?
No.
Hello, is there any problem so far?
No.
Hi, Adora, are you the only one on the call?
No.
Okay, Collins, I'm not
Yes, I'm
hearing
here.
your voice. So is there any problem so far? Do you have any questions?
I wanted to ask the images you brought, like when you copied the Google image, did you already have the image stored on your computer?
Which one? You mean this?
Yes. The Google background image.
Yeah, basically I didn't copy this. I actually made it with Illustrator, but if you want to get Google image, you can just search for Google, I don't know, Google, let's see, Google, then go to images. Probably, I'm sure you'll find it. Yeah, this is it
Okay.
here. So you can
So
just save it
I have to
and
download
use
it.
it. Yeah, most of the time you need to get your assets for any project you want to use, or for any project you want to embark on.
No, excuse me. The place I was getting confused is if I down like when I get the Google image, I'll have to download it on my computer, then attach it to the CSS and the HTML.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Or you can also do it in this way, right? Say you have this Google image. This is already hosted online. You can just copy the link. Let's see, save image, copy image address. I think this is it. So this is another way to do it. You can go to say instead of this, right? Remember it's URL,
Yeah.
and what we are inputting here is actually a URL. So if you save it, it still gives you the same result. You get it now?
Yes, I get it now. Yes.
Yeah. So any other question? Our time is fast spent already. Any other question?
No, please.
No questions for
No
me.
other question.
Yes.
Okay. That's awesome. I was actually expecting, bombarding. I was expecting you guys to bombard me with so many questions and having to answer a lot of questions. But it's awesome. I think you guys are going to ace this test. You guys are going to ace this task actually. If you have any other question, I say you guys are going to ace it. So since you don't have any questions,
So how are we going to like when this is done now, the recording? You said something about the recording. So
yes.
how are we going to be able to see the recording? So in our time when we are working on the task, we'll be able to still make references to the recording and all.
Okay, so the recording is going to be sent to your emails, right? You get the
Okay.
link and then probably, I'm not sure whether it's going to be sent to your email. I'll have to cross-check with,
So about that, sorry, Chukwudalu, let me see if I
yeah.
can. Okay. So about the recording, it will be uploaded on YouTube, and then the link to the recording will be sent to everyone.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome.
Is that fine, Chido?
Yes, that sounds good.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah, so you don't have any problems at all, you know. Um, let's finish up with the slides. So we've understood how CSS works, at least a little bit, and HTML. Also here, I attached some very useful links, very, very useful actually, really helped me during my own time. You can learn HTML from here, so many tags, and basically, I came to realize that you don't have to have everything at the back of your head. You can have essential things at the back of your head, things that you can't really do without, but with time, these things will stick to your head. They'll stick to you without you even knowing. Like you can recall them at impulse. You don't even, somebody wakes you up from sleep and asks you, okay, how do you create an anchor tag? You already know it's at your fingertips. You just spill it. So with practice, that's what practice brings for you. And then basically all these links, these resources online, they are majorly for reference purposes. Now, there's a lot of resources online. There's a lot of things you need to know about web development, but don't let it scare you. Don't let it scare you at all. Just know that as long as there's Google, as long as there's browser, as long as there's an internet, you can always get your answer. And the thing is, funny enough, every issue that you think you're going to come across, somebody, and in fact, a lot of people have already come across those errors or those issues, and then they've already been solved. They are online already. You just need to know how to search for the answer you're looking for, and don't just copy and paste. You need to understand it and practice it properly for you to get a very, very solid understanding of that particular concept. And then what we used in this particular place, this flex, you remember this, right? This flex is this is what flex is, flexbox. So it is very important in modern web development. It's a very comprehensive guide to CSS flexbox layouts. So basically, you learn how flexbox works. You try to incorporate it with your workflow, and then know how to make the best use of it, because this is actually very easy. You can use this to create very amazing layouts in a short amount of time. In fact, you don't even need much code. As you can see, all these things all these snippets, they're all one line codes, though they don't do much, but they're very powerful actually. You can use it to create so many layouts. In fact, I think Bootstrap, I don't know if anyone has heard of Bootstrap. Bootstrap uses Flexbox to create layouts. So, if Bootstrap uses Flexbox and you are still eventually going to use Bootstrap in the near future, so why not learn Flexbox? I mean, Flexbox is awesome. It's awesome. First time I came across Flexbox, I couldn't let go of it. So try and look at Flexbox, and good luck on your task, everyone. I wish you all the best, and I wish you a very, very exciting journey in your tech. I wish you a very exciting tech journey. Please, if you have any questions, this is the time to drop your questions.
Please, you said
Okay, thank you, Chukwudalu.
hello.
Yeah, we're
Adora,
welcome. Adora, I think Adora has a question.
yes.
To submit.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
You said there is a time frame to submit. Like there's a time frame we're supposed to submit between when we get the email.
Yeah, there's a time frame, and it's going to be attached in your email. So you're going to get the entire details for your task. So you just need to follow the instruction there. If there's any question you need to ask, or anything you need to clarify, you can also email admissions@stutern.com, and they will put you through. They're here for you actually. So you don't even need to worry too much about anything. You need to focus on your task actually. So
Right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anyone have another question?
Okay, just to confirm, does everyone know how to submit their tasks?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Okay, so basically, if you are done with your task, your there's a Google forms that's going to be embedded in your email. So there's a Google form there. When you're done with your task, you fill in the form, and then you see a particular spot to upload your task. So before you upload, this is what you do. You need to compile the entire file and zip it up into a zip folder. So it's that zip folder you're going to upload in that particular space. So when you upload the zip file and every other thing is satisfactory on the form, you can submit, and that's it. And then
Okay.
prepare
Thank you,
yourself.
Chukwudalu. Let me
Awesome.
share my screen for a little bit so that I can show them what everything looks like, the submission form and all of that. Just very
All
short.
right. All right.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So after you have applied, you're supposed to get an email that has the link to where you take your task and also how you would submit as well. So this is the email. I applied for front end. So this is the link. When you click on this link, it takes you here, and this is what it shows. Can we also see our screen? See my screen rather.
Yes.
Okay, great. So when you come here, this is help desk session. Okay, great. Then after you've done your task and all of that, done the necessary thing, you're also supposed to make a video. Here is where you upload your file. Just click on this, upload the task rather. Click on this. Say you have the file on your device, that's on your laptop or whatever. You just select the file. Let me just select a random file here, and then click on upload. So it has been uploaded, so it's here. Then you tell us something that you've done that you are most proud of. Just put what you think you're most proud of. Then this is for the video, the short video you're supposed to make. It should not be more than 5 minutes. So you click on add file.
What are we supposed to say in the video?
So just say your name, a little bit about yourself, just an introduction pretty much.
Okay.
Yes. Then let me select another random file. Upload. Then first name, forever, last name, your email address, phone number, and then click on submit. So that is all actually. Yes, hi there, we have received your submission. So that's all. Next thing we do is to review your task and we will get back to you. Did everyone get that? Do you have any questions?
You didn't still answer as regards to
Sorry?
the time frame, like what's the deadline for the tax? The time frame
Okay,
for the tax.
12th of December. You have to submit it by next week.
Okay.
Yes, 12th of December.
Okay.
Okay, do we have any other questions? Do we have any other questions?
No questions for now. I don't have any questions for now.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you, everyone. I hope that this was very helpful to you. Thank you, Chukwudalu, for taking the task. If you have any other questions, you can send us a mail at admissions@stutern.com, and we will definitely respond to you. So thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day.